Yeah.
Oh no!
Matt, what the hell was that?
Wasn't me, coach. Welcome to the Straight Red Car. Get off our lawn.
Welcome to the Straight Red Card. I almost feel awkward being back at my parents' for this show, but it's going to be the last time, I think, for a while. I will be moving to northern Indianapolis, i.e. also known as Fishers, on Wednesday. I found a great place, and so I probably won't be doing many more shows from here.
I suspect at least Thursday's show, because you probably won't have all the internets and whatnot set up immediately from the get-go.
You really think? Can't I just hotspot it from my phone?
Sure.
I think I could. I could hotspot.
I mean, you're not going to get the best of
Connections?
speed.
Yeah, probably not.
Be a robot.
Kind of like you've been a couple times in the show already, by the way.
Yeah, I call it.
Yeah.
You
froze.
you just saw me do that. No, you saw me do the robot.
You are not that good at breakdancing.
I literally just was. Super duper. See, no, exactly how I looked. I see no difference.
All right.
So I let everybody know before Thursday came around that I was going to be on vacation.
Yep.
On our comment today, talking about the live stream show today, I talked about how after a long weekend and missing Thursday's live show, I'm even more exhausted. Thought vacations were supposed to be relaxing.
Yeah, but you were, the contests and all.
Super exhausted, drained. No, so we went up to Michigan. Got an Airbnb next to St. Joe River.
And you made the quarterfinals. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I did it all in one day, Derek. Come on. No, so a group of us all went, and we decided that it'd be a great idea to drive 7 miles down the road to a boat launching spot and float down the St. Joseph River with rafts. It's a little tubes, and we do it here on the White River. We've done it many a river, and
sounds great.
We went out there. It's 7 miles river, not 7 miles driving. So 7 miles river time.
Okay,
and we're just floating down the St. Joe River, and a friend of mine was like, dude, I don't think we've even gone half a mile yet. How long have we been out here? And it's like an hour and 20 minutes. Like, fuck. So as I'm sitting on my float, I realize that my float actually has a hole in it, and you start losing air. Just like sinking slowly into the water as we're floating down this river.
Wow.
And so I ended up having to get out, hold on to the float, and then just tread water the entire trip back. Well, about 4.5, 5 hours later, we finally decide to wave down a pontoon boat to tow us back about the additional 3 miles. Because it took 5 miles or 5 hours to go that short of a fucking distance.
You were going upstream, were you?
Well, not necessarily. It was funny that morning we looked out the window to the river, and it definitely looked like the stream was going the opposite direction, despite the fact that it goes south. It was heading towards Lake Michigan, but it was going the opposite direction with all the wind and shit. So there was no current whatsoever. So most of it had to do with us paddling or kicking, because we have oars and shit like that. Because we've been down the White River when it's super fast, and we've had some experiences where we almost collided into roots of trees and shit like that.
The White River back in Indiana.
Sure. Yes.
Okay.
So we have these oars because of that. But yeah, so the pontoon boat just towed us back the final 3 hours. And
meanwhile,
it was a giant mess.
Your raft or whatever.
I was like in the water from my neck to my ankles, just sitting there for 3 miles, we were going a couple miles an hour. It was the most ridiculous thing in the world.
That
but I was
sounds
I'm like,
fun.
let's fucking paddle off to the side. I'm gonna get off of this dock. We'll give somebody a call. They'll come pick us up. Everybody's like, no, that's private property. I'm like, fuck. I'm wearing swim trunks, no shirt. I don't think anybody's thinking I'm going to come up there and steal shit from them. So they're concerned, like, oh, we're in Michigan. There's
shark-infested waters too, by the way.
Yeah. So it was it was a mess of a trip, and never again on a no current river. That was bullshit for that long, at least.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like fun at all. Not at all. All right, Jose Reyes. We love you. You're like fine wine. $15 as a Crew fan.
I'm sorry.
Thank you, Cucho. As a USA fan, I got a good feeling for a few players. Also, Derek, I come back now. You can't do shows? Laughing my ass out. What do you mean I can't do shows? I'm doing one right now.
maybe he came back and we couldn't do the live stream on Thursday, maybe? I think that's what
maybe so. Yeah, we couldn't do it on
all
Thursday.
But
that was all Brett. He had to go to that competition up north. And, I don't know if Pete won this time, but he has a better name for that. So thoughts on Richards to Crystal Palace, good and bad. The good being, he's got a shot at playing there. He's definitely got a shot. Could be backup material, but he's got a shot. Bad? It's England. And he's going to really have to go there and prove that he's worth it. Or he's not going to get to play. But at least it's Crystal Palace. It's not like some team in the second division or third division. I think he's proven he could play high quality football at Hoffenheim, even though he's at Bayern. I wouldn't oppose it. I certainly wouldn't oppose it. I just know he's going to have to battle for playing time. He's not going to get it right off the bat.
Filippo has a short live stream that he did about this move. And he talks about the positives and negatives, and basically he'd be entering a team, whether it's a loan or a transfer. We still have to figure that out. But he'd be entering a team where he wouldn't necessarily be entering as a starter. But then again, he did the same thing for Hoffenheim. He didn't enter there as a starter. He worked his immediately into as a starter, though. Well,
it helped when they went to a back three. So he didn't have to battle for two CB spots. He could battle and squeeze into three. So that definitely helped at Hoffenheim.
Oh, there you go.
Jack Palance wants him. No shit. No, he meant Palace. Rumors are.
I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
For those who don't know who Jack Palance is, look him up. I know. I was just playing around, Chambers. Rumors are Palace want to go to a 3-man back line. If that's the case, that opens the door even more for him. So it's very possible. He's the kind of kid who could play out left at the left center back spot. Hell, you could play. He's like the what they call a pocket knife, with all kinds of tools on it. He can play all kinds of different positions: center back, left back, right back. Hell, you could probably even play him as a defensive mid. I wouldn't do that, but not lobster enough. Where did you really go?
Well, it rained. It rained all day Friday, so we didn't get to do shit then. I mean, outdoor shit. And then we're just on the water. You spray. You're good.
How about that rain yesterday? Were you here for that?
Yeah, I came towards the tail end of it.
Yeah, that sucked. That's a lot of rain here up north. Brett's tan burn is hard as fat.
I'm whatever. Irish and Polish. I don't tan really. I do get like a dark pinkish color. I mean, I can't get bronze. This is bad lighting. I mean, I do bronze, but ever so slightly. And I'm not burned, oddly enough.
Well, that's good. That is good. Did you use lots of, the tanning stuff, tan lotion?
Sunblock?
Suntan lotion?
Yeah, I used a bit of olive oil and crisp right up. No. Yes, I use sunblock, yes.
Okay. Let's just be honest, okay? You didn't go out there and hang out unprotected and then come back looking like this, because you would have been a lot worse. Let's be honest.
Well,
okay.
I mean, from waist down. You guys can't see it, but waist down.
Waist
Really
on, you did not use the lotion, and you were burnt to crisp. Honey, don't touch me there, please.
Okay. No.
I want you, but I can't deal with the pain. The turd in the background says, Brett didn't read my intro. I am being thrown to the wayside.
Turd,
I don't think so.
You were late to the show. I was mid-story about us not floating down the river. But here, I'll throw you up anyways.
Welcome back to the Straight Red Card. Unfortunately, I'm having a battle with the squirts. All right. The Hope solo picks were great, and Weston McKennie farked my sister, not Pulisic. All right. There you go.
Michael, come on.
That kind of reminding me of the cartoon we did back in 8 years ago, where D-Rec goes to the hotel after or before the U.S. men's national team game, and I can't remember what it was, but his mission was to find Klinsmann. I think it was called Mission to Find Klinsmann. So he sneaks inside the hotel and starts knocking on doors, right? And he knocks on Beckerman's door, and Beckerman cracks open the door, and he's smoking a big bong and shit. And then he goes to the next door, and then it's the guy who pukes all over and wanted to beat me up in real life. Zavaleta. So we had Zavaleta opening the door and puking everywhere. And I said, why are you even here? You're not on the fucking team. I don't understand. Why are you at the hotel? Anyhow, it's for the parties, man. And he's like, blah. And then he knocked on Klinsmann's door. And finally, Klinsmann opens up and he's like, what do you want? I said, hey, man, we got to do an interview together. I thought we talked about that. He's like, no, I don't remember this. And then in the background is Hope Solo. He's in Klinsmann's room. I don't think we could do this joke again. But I said, why is Hope Solo? I said, why is Hope Solo here? What? She's not on the team. And Klinsmann says, I was helping her get better at guarding her box. Or touching her, or commanding her box. That's what he said. I was teaching her to command her box. I said oh, in soccer? He said, not really. And then he slammed the door in my face, and that was the end of the show. So anyhow, I don't know why that reminded me of that clip, that cartoon we did. All right, Derek, are you smoking in your parents' house? For now, I'm smokeless, as you can see. But I'm not dickless. So there's that, right?
You had that going, yeah.
Yeah. No, I have to just drink here, guys. I'm sorry. I'm drinking the good stuff. Some Canada Dry with some vodka. It's all good. I already had a bottle of champagne earlier. Well, 2 of them with my parents. They drink a third each of those too. So, hey, they're joining the party. They're just doing their thing upstairs. I'm downstairs. I'm leaving tomorrow to pick up a U-Haul and drive to Bloomington. It's going to be a lot of fun. My son's going to help me pack up, and then I'm going to head back north and have a brand new place to live. I'm kind of excited. Almost have a brand new job. And, Brett's so excited. He's doing these things and shit. It's like, call me later. She's your wife. She can just come in, Brett, and knock on the door. She doesn't need to call you.
So yeah, my son got taken. My mother-in-law took my son back to Michigan. His Poppy is having a boys' week with all his cousins and stuff like that over, and so it's just Chuck here. And even though she's supposed to be in bed, she's running around the house. I told her to go back upstairs. I'm on a call.
Well, just to be clear, her real name is Charlie, and you call her Chuck. She's not going.
Call her Chuckles, Chuck Schwa.
Man,
any variety of Chuck.
And she's very young.
Chuck and Charles for the most part.
Yeah,
or Chuckles.
And I think that's fun. But others might think that your daughter might have some sort of sexual disorientation or something going on. But that's not the case. It's just a nickname you have for her. You're not calling her Chuck because she said, I don't want to be called Holly. I want to be called Chuck.
She's not. I don't think she's fully familiar with what her name is. I mean, we generally call her Chuckles. She'll be like later on in life. She'll be putting on resumes. Chuckles Corbett. You fucking clown.
It's like my dog almost. Like how many nicknames does my dog had? Gizmo, Gizmatic, the Giz, the Gizzer. All kinds of nicknames. So
good thing there was a soft G there, not a hard G.
That's right. Yeah, we didn't try to go that. The Gizmatic. That was another one. The Gizmatic 1000. Rest in soul, my buddy. All right, so let's take some questions before we get to the game, the Leeds game versus Villa in Aussieland, down under. Blimey, crikey!
Put another shrimp on the barbie.
Put another shrimp on the barbie. I'm gonna kick your ass. All right, no, that was bad. That last one was bad. All right,
I think all of the Australian accents we had there was bad.
Oh, I
didn't try.
It's one of my less favorite accents, I got to tell you. And it's
right.
Yeah, it's just not something I like much. It's kind of like the Boston accent. Anyhow, I'm going to make a lot of friends tonight. Niles, Dickface.
Quit shit on the carpet, Dickface.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Gizmo had little shit. That was one of his, you little shit. Get in here.
I always thought the best name for a dog would be Fucker. Because he'd be like,
okay.
Come here, fucker. Come here, little fucker.
And
people are like, hey, whoa, we got children. That's his name.
Yeah, when your parents come over, you're like, hey, little fucker, come here. No, fucker. Hey, fucker. Fucker, stop that. Fucker, stop that. I mean, that gets really awkward after a while. Fucker, off his fucking leg. All right. Is it possible George Collini's move to LAFC was inspired by Weston McKennie introducing him to ranch? You mean ranch dressing?
I must go to America now.
Not ranch housing. I don't know if it was because of the ranch, and I assume you mean
Weston goes up, dude, you just put it on the pizza. It's good.
Do you think he means ranch dressing?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay. Not
what
ranch
else?
houses?
No.
Well, ranches. Ranches are cool. Like if you own a ranch.
How would he possibly introduce him to a ranch house? Or ranch? I mean,
they have American TV on in Italy.
Yeah. I must live in that one-story building.
What's that show? Get them up, get them out, movement. Rawhide. They work on a ranch. All right, enough.
Sound like you were just singing "Dinosaur Train."
Get them up, get them out, move them up, move them in, move them out. Rawhide. I don't know any of the lyrics. I'm just making this up. All right, Brett Winner. Still plenty of time in the transfer window, but what players would you say are the biggest losers so far in terms of not having a new team? Brooks. And that's basically a lot of teams saying to his agent, yeah, that shit you were making over at Wolfsburg? You're not making it here, buddy.
No.
We'll throw you a bone, but it ain't going to be that big. It's not going to be, Big Daddy Dick kind of size. This is small bone we're going to see.
He's making what, was it like $4 million at Wolfsburg?
He's making a lot. Let's just put it that way. And a lot of teams have already come out and said his wage requests are absolutely insane for his age and the way he's played in the last season. So he's going to have to be flexible. Shaq Moore.
Hold on one second. Yeah, okay, let's continue this. I've got a comment to pull up. But yeah.
Okay.
Well, for not having a new place, he didn't say transfers.
Not having a new part
in terms of not having a new team.
I'm such a good
outside reader and listener.
I'm a
reading comprehension.
shittier listener. Yeah.
But yeah, so outside of him, Hoppy would be the other answer right now until something comes up. We'll talk about him, I guess, here in a second. Or we could talk about him right now if you want.
Well, it's not because he doesn't have a new team because there weren't offers. There were just his team wouldn't accept the offers. They said, fuck off. No, that loan offer is too small. Mm-hmm. We won't take it. So I wouldn't call him a loser in that situation. Who still doesn't know? Fabian Johnson is definitely a loser.
Well, he's been a loser for 2 years now?
Yeah, at least. No club at all. And that's Loser City. So it might even be 2.5 years at this point. 69
viewers currently, and we want all 69 of you to hit that like button down below.
Yes, 69.
Subscribe if you have not subscribed for good content we've talked about. Wow, it's weird that you had that written down already.
I know. I was ready. I read his mind.
It kind of looks like you wrote it's an upside down G6. No, it's just says 69. No, they're both 69s. Whoa, that's wicked. No, I know.
Yeah. Where? That's not what happens when 69s happen, by the way. That doesn't happen. It's more of a dual pleasure episode. All right.
Any more Biggest Losers?
It's hard to say they're biggest losers. Even in Brooks' case, yeah, he's holding out because he's like, okay, once we get to the last few days of the window, some teams who desperately need a center back are going to start to panic, and then I'm going to get the money I want, right? So we can't say he's a loser yet, but nobody off the top of my head. I mentioned Shaq Moore, but that's a different situation. We could talk about Gioacchini, and we will later. That's a different situation. Sad situations. I don't know if I'd call them losers though, because I'm nice.
Well, I mean, there were players. Well, you said Hoppy got an assist, didn't he?
He did. So in the last friendly against a really crummy Polish team, but
whatever, you take what you can get. I said the same thing. I said the same thing about Pepe when he got his goal. You know, whatever you got to post. You got to post results in these preseason friendlies.
And they
even talked about their. I don't know.
I said I said he scored a goal on a bunch of guys who drink beer at a pub and play pub weekend.
Hey, a goal is a goal, and you went in there, you did your job.
It's really not.
It's whatever.
No, a goal is not a goal.
It is all about confidence when you're a striker, and you back that first goal. The next time you're in, you're a little more confident. Now, mind you, yes, take into consideration you're playing a shit team, okay, but come on, it's definitely still confidence building. That's extent. What
if you were born with that freaky disease, and by the age of 5, you were the size you are now, and you were super skilled at soccer, and you had to play against a bunch of 5-year-olds? Do you think I'm going to give you an award for scoring a bunch of goals against a bunch of 2'2"?
Well, I would think that you wouldn't have us play a bunch of 5-year-olds at that point, Derek. Be a better manager. Come on.
That's fair, but it was a metaphoric example, not an actual.
So even if Pepe played a bunch of 5-year-olds, no,
right.
A bunch of men equivalent to 5-year-olds. Yeah, I'm just saying, not his fault who he's playing against. We always talk about this national team, and we play the minnows. He went out there, did his job. That's all that matters. But moving on, back to Hoppy. He got an assist. That still looks better than sucking balls and not doing shit in the performance during a friendly. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, you can only fuck what's in front of you. That's exactly right. Especially when you're really drunk and you can barely see or put sentences together. Sometimes you just got to go with it.
But looking at something like that, you necessarily couldn't say just because he's not getting a loan that he'd be classified as a loser in that sense. Maybe he's working up and he's impressing, and the manager there is starting to like him a little more.
At Mallorca?
Yeah. I'm just saying, maybe.
Well, it's possible. I mean, I think, he could be saying, listen, this is Matthew Hoppy. He got in people's faces last season and said, why the fuck am I not playing? What do I got to do? Whose balls do I need to fucking snuggle here?
You beat me there, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's ridiculous.
But
do the coach and I have to do this in order for me to get playing time? Come on.
Who knows?
All right.
But here's potentially a biggest loser is Matt Miazga.
Yeah,
because he's not going to play at Chelsea, and we still haven't heard of any opportunity loans going on right now.
He was already one of the biggest losers last season. So, I mean, this is adding insult to injury at this point. And, he's not doing himself. His agent's not really doing himself anything. He could have gone back to Belgium. He could have gone to Holland. He could have gone back to the championship and gone somewhere where he was going to play. But now, he's in the valley of death. Matthew Hoppy was decent versus Real Madrid.
Yes, he was. But but you can't be decent on the field if your manager doesn't play you. So that was his only downfall. Yeah.
Was that the game where he played basketball defense on the guy throwing the ball in?
I don't recall that. Yeah,
Okay,
it could have been. It's very possible.
I might have been in another game. All right.
There was other players that could have been considered losers up until this preseason was Owen Otasawi. Otasawi.
Otasawi.
Otasawi. It's just Otasawi. Yeah, and guess what? He's getting playing time as a center back. And that brings us to a temporary question. I need to bring this up here.
All right.
So, Still Cuter in Person says, is there a remote chance he plays his way onto the plane in Qatar? Derek, what's your take on that?
No.
Why?
Otasawi? Are we kidding here?
Hey, let's just say for the next 2 months, he's excelling at center back. Does Greg give him a call?
At Club Rouge. At Club Rouge?
Whatever.
No. It's too late. He blew that load already when he told Berhalter he didn't want to play center back. I'm sure Berhalter's not that happy about him doing that.
Yeah.
And also, who says he's going to play and start for Bruges this season at center back? It's preseason. They're playing all kinds of chuckleheads right now. And he's right now after last season.
Oh no, he wasn't even preseason though. He actually played in a cup game, like a championship cup game. That was his most recent performance.
Okay,
in the center back. So it's promising.
Championship. Is this like what kind of cup game is that?
Somebody in the chat who knows more about that shit than I do. Can you tell us what match it was?
Is this the one between the winner of the season and the winner of the cup? Or as they call it in Germany, the winner of the Pokal versus the winner of Bundesliga 1? And they have winners, champions, sort of winners cup? Okay.
This
Belgian Super Cup. So that's what that would be, right, Chris? The Belgian Super Cup is between the winner of the actual first division and the winner of the cup, the Pokal there. Cup match. Okay. Well, then that's impressive. But man, he's got a lot of swimming uphill to do before. Yeah. So
my response was nope, no chance. I'll bring it up with Derek tonight on tonight's show. But apparently, he told Greg he wasn't going to play CB when informed in the last camp he attended.
Yep.
I doubt he'll ever get he'll even get called up.
No,
I don't see Greg going. Maybe I'm going to take this chance on this guy who told me to fuck off.
When I said you should play center back, yeah.
So yeah,
it's pretty ridiculous. I agree with you. I think it's too late. He's got to wait for the next coach, and then he's got to continue to perform. And plus, we got Richards, we got Zimmerman, and Long. Those are locks, folks. Those are locks.
Absolutely.
And then you got CCV, who's practically a lock. I don't know. There's not much room after that. So. Thank you guys
for Super Cup, Belgian Community Shield,
I guess, something like that. Yeah, I get it.
But yeah, Still Cuter in person is a Otasawi fan, and we don't have any problem against him by any means. We've actually talked about him being included in some windows prior to hearing that he basically told Berhalter that he was not going to play center back,
and then he got into modeling.
Yeah, whatever that was about.
That was weird. Yeah. So, listen, he's a young kid. He doesn't mean that he's lost forever. We've seen guys like Julian Green come back from being a real spanker and pull it together, right? And we've seen guys who haven't. I mean, look where what's his face from Norwich is now. The striker. Fucking shit. Can't remember his name.
Sergeant?
Norwich. He was the kid. He went to Portugal. And
Soto.
Played Soto. Yeah. I mean, look at him. He seems like a lost cause. Is he? Well, that's going to be up to Soto at some point because nowhere he has gone has he been wanted.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, at the beginning,
he's back there right now, so you got to work that shit out.
It's like, oh yeah, we want you, and then he gets there, and in a few weeks they'll go, I don't know, we don't really want you. So if that keeps happening, you might want to look in the mirror and go, is it them or is it me? And after a few, there's a trend developing, and you can't look yourself in the mirror and go, there's a trend developing, but it's still all their fault and not mine because I'm a fucking badass. And that goes for life too, folks. Really. You gotta look in the mirror sometimes and go, I just got fired from 3 jobs in a row. I think I might want to look in the mirror and find out why I keep getting fired from these jobs. Is it because I keep getting caught smoking weed in the bathroom? Is I take 30-minute lunch breaks, or 2-hour lunch breaks and jerk it in the fucking stall, and everybody knows about it, and that gets around the office. And then people are like, hey, dude, this Derek dude keeps fucking jerking off in the fucking bathroom. I'm pretty sure it is because it's like making noises. Anyhow, they're just things you want to be careful about. And Soto needs to be careful.
What it sounds like when Jarek jerks off, or Derek jerks off. Not Jarek jerks off.
Sorry, folks. All right, Chambers, Chambers, Wisconsin. Soto had a tryout for Barnsley, didn't disclose an injury, and was told off. Was this recently?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's back in Norwich now, yeah.
He's not going to be able to play at Barnsley anyhow. He doesn't meet any of the requirements in England for a work permit. He's going to have to go play in Scotland or somewhere else. He can't play. He's not going to get a work permit.
What happens if you can't? He's already in England though. He's already part of Norwich's team.
Doesn't matter.
Being loaned out. So can he not play right now?
No. He'd have to go to Scotland, where the same requirements are not, or he would have to go be loaned out in mainstream the Europe. Europe. A lot of people don't consider England part of Europe. So there you go. I think they're wrong, but hey, it was me. Is that it for the questions?
Austin Trusty got a work permit in England. He got loaned to Birmingham.
That's quite surprising. Very surprising. So maybe they're just more lenient. Maybe they're giving out work permits to any Tom, Dick, and Harry right now. I don't know. Maybe I should move to England.
Maybe they loosened up after Brexit. Who knows?
Yeah.
Like
the girl after she. Go ahead.
I was going to say we're about 33 minutes into the show right now, and I know that you have about an hour-long time limit here. So I said if we're going to talk about the game, let's talk about the game. And we'll come back to the questions later.
Right. Are you all loosened up now? Speaking of loosened up?
I'm loosened up. I'm good.
Okay.
Words come out of my mouth. Well, I'm all right.
I'm just getting around with you. All right. So we're getting to the actual real topic.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good now.
That's called bad planning ahead. That's what that's
I filled that up right before the show.
I have no right to comment.
Yeah. So
it's empty.
I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
All right. So I watched all 65 minutes or so, 62 of Adams and Aaronson playing for Leeds, not against some fucking Aussie team.
Yeah.
No, against Aston Villa.
Yeah.
And I was so excited because my parents went to bed early. I'm here and I got to pick up my U-Haul. So I'm stuck here until I can get my U-Haul, go back to Bloomington, fill it up, and I don't get my actual apartment until Wednesday. And so there's nothing I can do. But I turn on the game or turn on my YouTube and it comes up as a
I was about to ask how the fuck you've even found that.
Yeah, it came up as recommended to me. And I guess I watch enough Leeds videos and boom, I'm like, live? No shit. Boom. Yes, there they are. Adams, Aaronson starting for Leeds. And I was like, this is going to be the bomb because it's late at night and there's nothing else to do. And it was a lot of fun to watch. And I mean, I got to tell you, Aaronson should have had at least 2 assists in that game. He should have had a goal too, but he couldn't decide whether or not he wanted to take a shot or pass it off to Bamford. Yeah.
There's one play. He was in the box. Just at that point, I'm hoping Marsh got on him and said, dude, take the fucking shot next time.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But I mean, he had a great pass to that what's his face fuck that missed it. Can't remember his name.
Was it it was Bamford that
no, Bamford didn't miss. He might have missed one of them.
Yeah, hold on.
No, it was the other turd sick. goal on the right.
Yeah, Aaronson passed the first chance he had. He did a nice slot to Bamford, who ran it to the near post, turned, took a shot. Now, it was a question of whether or not it was a bad shot by Bamford or whether or not the goalkeeper made a nice save.
Jose Lopez says that I saw a lot of fans, English Leeds fans, saying Aaronson was not impressive. Well, they can suck Aaronson's cock. That's all I got to say, because, it's his first start, and it's a friendly, and it's not against
Daniel James.
Daniel James, thank you. Yeah. I think it was on the other one. Yeah. It's to expect him to, be super Messi, or the Medford Messi, everyone calls him. Just calm the fuck down, Leeds fans.
Well, not only that, what wasn't impressive that doesn't play into his wheelhouse is how direct their backline played up the field.
Yes.
It was that first 20 to 25 minutes, it was just sloppy long balls and missed passes from Leeds. Little you can do if you're a creative midfielder. But I thought what Aaronson did well is there were a couple times where he got muscled off the ball. Sure, we kind of all expected that happening.
Yeah.
But I think for the most part, he did a good job of either holding on to it and playing it out or drawing the foul.
I did too.
Yeah.
I thought he looked at home.
It was silly that he wasn't going to play bad. I don't know what they're talking about.
No, he wasn't overmatched. He looked comfortable. He didn't look nervous. He just went out there and did what Aaronson does all the time, and play his game, They said he looked physically weak. Well, a lot of Leeds fans look physically weak to me too. Okay. So Jose, just slap them. All right. I don't know where you're seeing these people, but those sloppy long balls that you were talking about, Brett, and I'm talking about the ones with the center backs were heaving up the field.
Yeah.
That doesn't work. But I thought on the press, Aaronson was great. He was energetic. He does what he does, and he knew the system too. Mm-hmm. They were playing a 4-2-3-1, and he knew it backwards and forwards. He knew Marsh's system. And he did win it back. So let us know where you're hearing these comments from Leeds fans. Is it on YouTube? Is it some other platform that I don't notice? Because here's
here's somebody to take a look at. He talks about Leeds lobby.
That's
I'm writing
pretty
that
good.
down because I'd like to take a look at them.
There's a new YouTuber podcast from Leeds United in England. That's pretty good. Maybe you guys should hit him up because he does have a lot of questions about our two Americans. Name is Leeds Lobby. Actually, I think he was just on Jake's show. It's he and his son, I think. I didn't watch the whole thing, but the kid is really sharp. I mean, he's sharper than the father. No offense if we ever have him on, but the kid, he looks like he's like 13. His voice is so deep. He sounds like he's 43, and his dad sounds like he's like 22. So it's kind of weird. If you were listening to him on the podcast, you'd think his son would be older than him. It's just the way his voice is. Anyhow, ProfitStockAlerts.com. Leeds press generally love Aaronson. Yeah, I didn't really. That's why I asked, because I go to a lot of the Leeds podcasters and YouTubers, and I'm not hearing a lot of negativity yet. I heard more about Adams than I did Aaronson. And that's not fair either. This is also Adams' first game with his new teammates, and he did well.
Maybe the fans are just randos on Twitter, because Chambers even talks about how the Leeds message boards liked Aaronson and was shocked how good Adams was.
Good. So, that sounds more like what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So maybe it's just the randos that hate Marsh that are on Twitter, pounding all the time on it. So who knows? Maybe that could be it.
And as you guys well know, coming here, there's always one dick face that is blabbering louder than everybody else, and he just makes a lot of comments. He just makes a lot of negative comments, and then you're kind of like, you come to think there are lots of people who have this opinion, when in reality, it's not true. One guy or two guy does, and there might be the same persons. So
it's a general thing with Twitter. It's usually the vocal minority that you hear a ton of from, and you don't hear from the normals. So
yeah. Okay, where were we at? Okay, so that's that, right? I think that was a really good start. I mean, I'm not about to shoot fireworks out of my anus or anything, but it was a really good start for both Adams and Aaronson. I thought they were both solid. Neither looked like they were nervous. Neither looked like Dempsey the first game he played for Fulham, where I think he did look nervous. And that's saying something about Dempsey. But Dempsey was making a huge move from MLS to this. Well, both of these guys are making shorter giant leaps. And I think they're comfortable in their skin, and they played in the Champions League, and they know they can play at this level. And I think that showed in that first game against Villa. And by the way, it might have been a friendly, but those fuckers were not fucking around. That was a real game. Everybody's fighting for a spot. Yeah.
Well, to your point, it's not like a fifth division team or even an A-League team. They're playing against a team that they're going to be facing here in a month.
Yeah.
So you want to go out there and you want to put forth a good show. Absolutely.
And that I love listening to the Aussie announcers who are like, well, judging by this game, we can tell that there are a lot of football fans or soccer fans in Australia, and it shows today. But what we've got to do next, however they talk, is we've got to get them to come out and watch the A1 League. And everybody went, right. Yeah. I mean, they're having a real decrease in viewers in A1 right now, and they can't quite figure out why. If you don't like our system in MLS and our ceiling of how much money they can be, check out Australia. They got dicks for money. Nothing. They are struggling there.
That's a weird way of worded. They got dicks for money. Like, they're for sale? Are you kidding me?
Well, have you ever tried being a gigolo? That shit ain't easy. All right. All right. So that's the Leeds thing. Unless you got more to add.
No, I was going to just talk a little bit about the game, I guess. I thought the PK called on Adams was bullshit. Flat out. I mean, don't get me wrong. His hand was like out and about, it's like, I don't know what that was about, but I mean, it totally hit his chest, bounced down. And I'm guessing they don't have review or anything like that show.
Well, that was that stupid Aussie ref, so nobody informed him that a chess ball was illegal, was actually legal in soccer. He's a rugby referee who's filling in on the side and on the sly. And he wanted to be involved in the game. So what better way to do that? What better way to ruin a 0-0 game with a back and forth than just handballing some motherfucker for chesting it? Last time I looked, there's not an arm on my nipples. So there you go. No arm on my nipple, on my chest. Okay? And there isn't one on Adams. Not a fucking T-Rex. All right. So yeah, that was a very poor call. You're totally right about that.
Absolutely. And the goalkeeper, I even wrote down how to say his name. Whatever. Meliar. So he had an amazing PK save, obviously, and then the second save was phenomenal. Phenomenally lucky, but still phenomenal regardless.
Yes, he played really well. He really did.
Oh yeah. He had a hell of a game. Unfortunate on the second PK call, but I mean, it is what it was. I mean, can't argue with that one.
Isn't there an S in Melier's name?
Yes.
Meslier. Is that correct? How many fucking S's does there need to be in a French last name before you pronounce the S?
You can keep adding it.
That's all I got to ask.
Or MESSSSS.
Melier. But I mean, there was a hockey player named Messier, and he had two S's in his name. So maybe they need two S's.
It's possible. That's possible.
So if there's two S's, his name is Messier. And now that there's just one S, you just fuck that S and you just skip it. You go, yes, it means Melier. What? No, fuck. No, don't pronounce the S. No, it's not. Yeah. It's a silent S. What the fuck? Silent S? Come on. Sabotage. That's a fucking French word. You pronounce the S. Sabotage. Why not? In
we pronounce. Maybe they just say abatage. I don't know.
It's sabotage. All right. Where were we? Okay.
We can end the Leeds talk really by just simply saying that I thought Aaronson and Adams both played well.
Yeah.
And yes, it was a friendly, but it was also against a team that they're going to be facing in the upcoming season.
Right.
And I don't think either team played down by any means.
No, I thought it was pretty good competition for those first 60-something minutes. And then when they came off, then all the scrubs were brought on, where a lot of scrubs were. And not for necessarily Aston Villa. They brought in some
16-year-old kid that came out there too.
Yeah, and then he got kicked in the balls, and they had to drag him off the field and then pump the ball back up because it was so deflated. I hope he's okay. I really do. He had an issue. It was serious. You play your first game, you get an immediate yellow card, and then somebody retaliates, and then you're screwed. So, all right. So then there were to the two other topics, which were Gioacchini. Why is he going to Orlando? I don't know. I honestly don't know, because he could find another team somewhere near to play for him. What is the point of going to MLS to bury yourself amongst so many other players like Mullers and all the other guys like that? Like, go to Europe, stay in Europe, find another French team to play for.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand it. That's like sweet surrender. Does he really believe that, Berhalter's going to be manager forever? And so being in MLS doesn't hurt you? I think.
Well, I'd be curious to find out. I'd be curious to find out what the contract is. If it's a typical MLS contract, I mean, it might have changed over time, but usually it's 3 years with 2-year options. So, I mean, when calculating it all, I mean, he might be like 27, 28 years old before possibly getting another free transfer back to Europe. Now it's possible, and Filippo's big on the transfer. He thinks it's gonna be great because he's an Orlando fan. But if he comes back and he plays well, there's no guarantee that Orlando releases him. If something were to come back up in Europe,
right? If you're Chris Mueller,
doesn't make much sense to me.
If you're Chris Mueller, go back to MLS. If you're Sebastian Soto, seek out some MLS therapy. If you are if you are Gioacchini, who just finished a season, I know he didn't fucking play that much, but so what? He was at Cayenne, and he did get to play. Not as much as he would like, but he was playing, which says to me, the manager's like, yeah, he's good enough to play. He's a backup guy. Well, maybe he's a backup now, but maybe next season he can work his way into a starting role. But man, throwing up the white flag and going to Orlando, I mean, Florida's a great place. Don't get me wrong. But if I'm looking at my career as a soccer guy, go to Turkey before MLS. No, I mean, they're so relatively the same at this point.
Well, no,
maybe 10 years ago, go to Turkey.
His point, at least imagining what his point is, that he is more likely to get out of a contract or get transferred or do anything by going to Turkey than say going back to MLS.
Because MLS, they lock you in. In Turkey, you go to Turkey, you can sign a 1-year thing. And, or 2-year thing. In MLS, it's pretty standard. You get stuck there for a while. Unless it's just a loan. Okay? Maybe they're working on a loan.
No, they talked about it was a free transfer with sell-on options. So if it'd be free transfer, and if Orlando were to say sell them off somewhere else in Europe, then obviously we get it more. We get that pretty chunk of change. Right.
Okay, you're right. I did read that. And who's the other schmucko coming home?
Moore.
Oh, Shaq Moore. He's okay. He's not a schmuck for that.
No.
Listen, I mean, he wasn't even a regular starter for a second division Spanish team. I mean, MLS is just about there. So I think he'll do fine in MLS. I don't even know if he'll play that much in MLS, honestly. I think he'll play. I don't know if he's a locked-in starter in MLS. I think he's a serviceable player. I think he's good, and I think he's a good backup in emergencies. But Shaq Moore, I mean, he just didn't. He never really added the Parmesan to the lasagna. He didn't make it happen. Well, it's Spain, so that's not a good metaphor at all. Name me a Spanish dish. Whatever the important ingredient in that Spanish dish, he didn't put it in there because he didn't impress. Even the people at Tenerife weren't impressed by the time, we're into his last season there. So, I mean, Tenerife's a beautiful place. Shit, I'd like to live there too. That's a beautiful place. Yeah, I think that's just it makes sense for him. Whereas Gioacchini, it makes no sense.
No,
it makes no sense.
Yeah, I mean the guy wasn't getting that much time at Tenerife, so it makes sense that at his where is he in age? Is he like
25, 6?
That's what I was saying, 25 or 6.
Somewhere.
Yeah, at this point he needs to get consistent playing time if he wants to be a contender, continued contender.
No, I think
Berhalter's pretty high on him regardless, so he's always an option. And don't get me wrong, I'm still a fan of Moore's. I just think he needs to get some playing time.
I think he needs to just go to MLS to make money. Honestly, he's not going to be a U.S. soccer. He's not going to be on the U.S. men's national team ever. He might be for some small tournaments, but not when it's the big bad boys going to the World Cup. Shaq Moore is not a World Cup player. Sorry. I mean, if you disagree with me, that's fine. I can live with that. Just know it's not personal. John Brooks has played for the U.S. Oh my God, is this recent?
Yeah, this is from the interview, and watch this.
This is the Herc interview? When asked about John Brooks, said wants the U.S. men's national team to play with a high line and wants to see Brooks dealing with those situations more. Not a way that Wolfsburg plays. We'll evaluate his club situation and his form moving forward. Damn! Did we just tell you? We told you that. How many times we say that, Brett?
Yeah.
I felt like a repeat box, And I'm not talking about a prostitute. I mean, I'm talking about, listen, I said this and we were right. And we were right all the whole time. And I'm glad that it's being reaffirmed now. And I just hope more guys out there are going to say, now we really know why he's not wasn't on the team.
Yeah.
Instead of saying, no one gets it. No, everyone's confused about why Brooks. No one was confused, dude. You just didn't want to listen to us. And that's okay.
I don't understand why. That's a legit reason. We've talked about this. Why did it take all the way up to this point? What about 7, 8 months, 9 months or so?
Yeah.
Of excuse after excuse after excuse to just get to this point.
And why wouldn't anyone say it except for Sam? Sam made a whole show about it. All right. But we've been saying it for weeks and months. No offense to Sam, but we've been saying it for a while. But other guys on other shows won't name their names. Let's name one of them. Jimmy Conrad and other guys, they don't even say the reason why anymore. They just say, we don't know why. But yeah, Brooks is out of the picture. No one will ever know why. Yes, we're going to know why.
So Al, we're not saying that it's a right reason to give. This is just the first time it's been a legit answer to the question of why Berhalter's not calling him in. Can Brooks play a high line? I don't see why he couldn't over anybody else. He's not the fastest, but then again, neither is Zimmerman. If
he had a quick guy playing the right center, right center back spot, then he could play a high line. So, and this him just saying that he can't play in high line altogether is a little ridiculous. It is a little ridiculous, but at least it's an explanation, and it's the one we've been telling you.
Yep.
Outside of the other incidents that we told you about, attitude-wise, where he didn't like not starting, and he made it very clear he did not like starting when he's been called up. So he does not think of himself as a backup. So there you go. Matthew Osborne, we better burn through these. I got about 6 minutes. Matthew Osborne, so Aaron Long coming off an ACL tear would be better in a high line. He loves him some Aaron Long. By the way, Aaron Long's faster than Brooks. I'd say in a 40, Aaron Long beats him by half a second, maybe more. Al Weinstein, understood. I'd argue it's more fluff. Well, this is the closest I would say we've gotten to an actual believable explanation.
Outside of Berhalter just coming out going, I think he's too slow. I don't like the way he looks at me.
Right. He held me down after practice one time and farted on my face. Yeah. I mean, all kinds of things. So,
all right. So I guess let's go through these pretty quickly here.
All right.
Yeah. We're
Still
on
plenty
time crunch, guys, so we're just going to be doing some speed rounds here.
This is the blow by. Here we go. That's what the new segment's gonna be called. The blow by. All right. Brett Winter. Still plenty of time in the transfer window. Well,
We've already done that one down here.
Oh,
Your vet.
fucking A. God damn it. Sorry. Angry Vet says, at our age, we need vacations from vacations too. After Richards, are there any more higher profile players like the copy as a baseline moving? And what would be their likeliest landing spot? Also, props to fucking Odasawi. That's Angry Vet for you. All right. That's the best angry I could do.
Yeah.
Since I'm never angry on the show, despite what people think. You know, I like the comment about vacations from vacations because both of us know what you're talking about. Because they're really not. After Richards, are there any more higher profile players? Think Hoppy as a baseline moving. And what would be their likeliest landing spots? Also, props to Odasawi. Don't give Odasawi too many props too soon, folks. He may go back to male modeling at any moment. And, you know, Odasawi,
though.
Male gigolo, you know.
Al's got it. Brooks, that'd be a pretty high profile move that we haven't heard yet.
Yes. Yep. And
Probably
we don't.
the highest at this point, because outside of that, I don't know if anybody's really kind of on that line. Like, you're expecting a transfer. I mean, I know, like, Ledesma's been talked about how he's had interest in a number of locations.
Yeah. Yeah. It's and people are talking about Lanez, Ledesma, and that other guy's name I can never remember. Anyhow. Mendes, thank you. A lot of talk. Always around those guys about get a loan here, get a loan there, get a loan anywhere. Just don't play where you're playing now or whatever. Or they're going to be the next greatest, Worcestershire sauce. There's only one great Worcestershire sauce, folks. All right, Chris Gary. What move is more significant? Aaronson to Leeds or Stefan to Middlesbrough? Aaronson to Leeds.
Yep. Hands down.
Stefan to Middlesbrough? The Stefan fucking blows it there. We still got two other guys who can cover the spot, and I don't think goalkeepers listen, would I love it if Stefan got all playing time and that, Horvath got a lot of playing time at Luton. Yes, I would. Turner's started 2 games now for Arsenal. Does that mean he's going to be the starter? Probably not, but we don't know. So we're all in wait and see mode. Where one thing we definitely know, Aaronson's going to work at Leeds. That shit's going to work. I'll guarantee it right now.
Yeah. Hands down.
When will Brooks sign for another club? Well, we kind of talked about this earlier. Seems crazy no team has tried to sign him. The reason they haven't tried, well, they have tried, but his asking price right now is too high. And so a lot of the clubs are just saying, well, fuck you, we're not paying that. But what Brooks is going to do, if, people say no to the offer, the bottom line that he wants, is he's going to wait. He's going to keep saying, well, if you won't pay it, then fuck you. And he's going to wait for about a few days left on the transfer window when teams are desperate for a center back. And then they're going to actually acquiesce and pay him closer to what he wants than he's being offered right now. My explanation. You can take it or leave it. Take it or leave it. Take it or leave it. You can take it. Yeah, okay, little strokes for you right there. Boom, out of nowhere. Mitch Desi, man, last one. Gonna have to be the last one. Okay, we'll speed through it. I'm excited for Leeds and our Yanks abroad. With Richards going to Palace, no, we don't know that yet. It looks as if Leeds are done getting Americans unless they get Brooks. Probably not. That may be unlikely for a few reasons. One being that he's slow, and 2, Leeds are closing in on Derek Schmeiz-Vitesses. What? From Cologne. I know there's a joke in there.
Testes at the end.
Testes. Smash of the testes.
Smash the testes.
Smash the testes. That sounds like some sort of potato dish in Poland or Greece. All right. Jose, can Derek confirm or deny the real reason you guys have been away was because he had a testicle tear or an anal tear? An anal tear? Oh,
that's a whole other thing.
My ass cries for you. All right. I think that's going to do it for tonight, folks. I'm sorry we have a limitation. That's all my fault. So you can blame me and send me the hate mail if you would like. We love you. We love being back. We'll be back Thursday. It'll be a totally different look than this, more than likely. And hopefully I have an internet connection by then. Could be a challenge. All right. We'll see how that works out. Until the next time on the Straight Red Card, double kisses.
And we're teammates.
Yeah, we're teammates. We're teammates.
I'm a good chef.
Oh, that's
chef.
sick. That's sick, bro.
I can make food. Cheese as well. So.
Oh my god, bro. Yo, you gotta cook for me. Damn. Bro, I get up to cook and I just can't do it. This is tough, bro. I gotta say video games, bro. That's bad.
What about your family, bro?
I mean, yeah. Just because the way that I was living in Austria, bro, I didn't know anybody there, so like...
Of eating.
Yeah,
like,
bro.
I have so many...
Bro, I just don't even notice, to be fair. Like, but I just kind of grab it, bro. Grab a couple. There you go. Bro, this is hard.
Yeah.
I'd probably say him. I mean...
You're gonna do her. Yeah.
Oh no!
Matt, what the hell was that? Wasn't me, coach.